Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here. Welcome to the start of the NES Marathon. The first game we're going to start with is The Legend of Zelda for the NES, created back in 1986. This is probably the oldest game I've ever done on my channel. I actually don't remember if Super Mario Bros. Came out before this or not, but regardless, this is an old game. Many years ago, Prince Darkness Ganon stole one of the Triforce with power. Princess Zelda had one of the Triforce with wisdom. She divided it into 8 units to hide it from Ganon before she was captured. Go find the 8 units Link to save her. And then you get a little look at all the items. Heart, container heart, fairy, clock, rupee, 5 rupees, life potion, second potion, letter, food, sword, white sword, magical shield, boomerang, magical boomerang, bomb, the letter D, arrow, blue candle, blue ring, red ring, a croissant, recorder, raft, stepladder, magical rod, book of magic, key, lion key, map, and compass. And yes, for all the items I said incorrectly, I did so on purpose. And of course there's the Triforce. And please look up the manual for more details. Well, unfortunately I do not have the manual for this game because, well, I never owned the original game, and I don't even have an NES, so there's no way I can use the manual to help me out. But I will have a lot of other resources and notes at my disposal, because this is a game I've really only beaten once in my entire life, so... And I actually beat it recently, like in preparation for this playthrough, so... I don't know a whole lot about this game. I've only played through a handful of times and all the way through once. So this is going to be very, very interesting, but I'm also looking forward to it as well, because as someone who has played video games for a long period of time, but never really experienced the absolute beginning to some of these games, I think it does give me some interesting insight to some of these older games, because like I've said before, especially in the NES introduction video for the marathon, I kind of talked about how a lot of these games are very old and archaic in design, so in terms of them and how they stand up today, or how they compare with more modern games, it's really just kind of interesting to look at the different details and stuff. But let's go ahead and get started. I had a little fun with the file names, as you can see. I also like how the erase a file is called elimination mode. I think that's very, very funny. It's like, you want to erase a file? Go to elimination mode. But we're going to go, let's just go with Slim. I think that's what I've been using for all the Zelda playthroughs I've done thus far anyway. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Probably one of the most famous lines in the entire Zelda series. And we have our first item. We have the sword. As you can see, the item system in this game works where sword will always be set to the A button, and you can set items to the B button if you hit start and just select one of the items, but I don't have any other items, so we're not going to be able to do that for a little bit. But yeah, basically any other item can be set to B, and it can be any other item in the game. You move around with the control pad. You have your health meter at the top right. You have counters for your rupees, keys, and bombs. And you also have a map in the top left, which is not a very helpful map. It doesn't really even divide it into sectors. I mean, it is technically divided into sectors, but you don't even see like the dividing line. And of course, there's no details to boot, so you can't exactly use this as a very good guide to actually finding your next destination. You kind of have to do a lot of exploring and just kind of run into the levels on your own, which is actually kind of nice because you don't necessarily have to do the dungeons in the proper order, but it's definitely made so you should do it that way, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Before I go to any dungeons, though, I'm going to actually do some grinding and get some more heart containers and some items that will definitely make things a bit easier for me going through the game. The first 2 dungeons really aren't that bad, and I can probably do it without grinding up for rupees here, but I don't know. I just like having that safety, especially when I'm doing a Let's Play, and the Let's Play curse is very, very prevalent, so I'm doing it just to be safe. I want to make sure I have a pretty pretty successful playthrough here. Not that I think it'll be bad by any means, but you know, just being safe. I think that's fair. I think I have that right to do that. And if my route looks very similar, I am. Most of my notes come from the ZeldaDungeon.com websites. I think it's .com. But basically, they have a great walkthrough for this game, where it actually shows you where you can get a lot of the different items and stuff, and it's just very, very helpful to use if you're trying to beat this game for the very first time. It shows you where pretty much all the heart containers are. It shows you where you get all the different items, and it just pretty much takes you through all the BS that this game does offer at times. And I'm almost dead already. I'm honestly not going to be surprised if I die here. I really could use a heart though, not going to lie. You may get lucky enough to get bombs at this point too, which is what I actually need to get. And I can get bombs in this room right here. The only problem is I don't have enough rupees to get the bombs yet. So I'm kind of in a bad position. Oh, and I'm only 1 rupee away from getting bombs too. Maybe I can get lucky. Oh, I don't want to fight moblins. Moblins are mean. I'd rather fight Octoroks. But I am almost dead too, so I'm trying to not die here. Oh, I didn't get the rupee yet. My God. Can I please have a rupee, please? That's all I need. Even if it's just 1. Okay, well I got health. That's good. Oh, that fairy is being a troll, though. Stupid fairy. Well, I guess I'll just stick with my bombs for right now. That's really, really annoying that the fairy actually got away from me. But it's cool because I'm going to be getting my first heart container soon, so I'll be able to get some health from that. All I needed was enough money to actually get the bombs, like I've already said. And I think this will be the fastest way. I think some of the enemies will respawn. We already have those Zoras being really annoying. Yep, that's what I thought. Ouch. Just gotta make it. Ah! Come on. Well, I have my first death. I'm not surprised. But this is actually not too bad, because I get my full health here anyway. I just would have rather not died this early on, but that's just me. Nobody wants to die. Which is a very, very true statement. Oh, and of course, there's a fairy taunting me. Like it. Stupid fairies always seem to taunt me. Now watch, this is going to be my only death in the playthrough. Not true. That's definitely not true. Because, I don't know, I find that you die a lot in this game. Unless you're like a speedrunner or someone who's just played this enough to the point where you know the best ways to deal with enemies and not die. I'm definitely not that good at this game, though. I will be the first to admit it. I can get through the game, but saying I'm good at the game is a completely different thing. Okay, so we have our bombs, which means we can actually get our first piece of heart in just a second. Gotta put a bomb right there, open up the door. And you can choose between some health or a heart container. The health item is pretty good. It's a potion, which you can actually use twice to heal yourself whenever you're hurt. But the heart container gives you permanent health, which I think is more valuable in the long run. So we're definitely going to go with that. Okay, so next we need to find... We're going to get some rupees now, because we're going to need to save up a lot of rupees to get some of the items. Okay, that's cool that I was able to sneak by without getting hit. I was supposed to go up right here. There we go. And I gotta get this guy to move, so I can grab these rupees. It's a secret to everybody. Now, there's a bunch of different rooms like these across the land. Some of them will actually subtract rupees from you, so you want to be careful of those. I'm only going to be visiting ones that actually give you rupees. I don't have any of the negative ones in my route here because, well, why would I? Why would I want to lose rupees? Okay. I'm going to see if I can maybe get rid of some of these guys. Because if I can get, like, just a fraction of health, that'll be good. Thank you. See, I got exactly what I wanted here. Now I can actually sneak into this room and grab some more rupees. And I actually have my sword beams back. Yeah, if you couldn't figure out, you have sword beams if you have full health, which is very, very good. Sword beams are awesome. It allows you to basically attack from a distance. The only problem is there are some enemies that probably will be immune to them, so you can't always do that, but whenever you can, definitely make use of it and try your best not to get hit, because getting hit is definitely nothing you want to do. Okay, so we got that. Let's go over here now. Ooh, thank you for that. No thank... Wait, why didn't that... I hate this, because, yeah, you have to, like... Okay, there is definitely a secret here. I don't know how I didn't unlock it, but... Sometimes this game is really, really finicky with hidden areas. So now I have to go find bombs, which is really, really dumb. Hold on, guys. Okay, thankfully I didn't have to go all the way back to the shop. It's still annoying, though. See, like, I was definitely in the blast radius there. Unless you really do have to be pixel perfect with what square you blow up, but that's just stupid. Anyway, I got the heart container. Very quickly, let me turn to the next page of my notes. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I do have my notes on a Word document, so I have to keep opening that up. Or, not really opening up, but, like, moving my windows around. And, I'll be cutting footage whenever I do that, just so you don't have to deal with that little pause and break of silence. Okay, so next we're going to get some items. Some very helpful items. This place looks interesting, doesn't it? I bet it does. Well, guess what? There's a secret. And this secret's really cool because this is another area where you can get some rupees. Is this going to be a lot of rupees? Oh, yeah, 100. Very, very nice. Okay. Next, let's go back. And I think we want to go up here now. Oh, and that's another thing I hate. I hate the directional movement of this game. Because this isn't like Link to the Past where you can move diagonally. You can only move like left, right, up, and down. So here we have a letter. We're supposed to show this to an old lady, which we will do. But not right now. We'll be showing it to her at a much later date and time. Thankfully I was able to escape the wrath of that guy. Okay, so we have more Tektites. Ouch. Ouch. Oh my god, get out of the way. Please. I just want you guys out of my way. This is the next room I want to be at. Because in here we can find the blue candle. You can also find some other items that you can purchase, but namely we want the blue candle. Because this will allow us to find even more hidden areas. And now that we have 5 heart containers, we can actually get something else now. Something that'll make this game a lot easier, especially in the early stages. But first we need to get there. We've got to go through a few rooms before we do, though. And we want to go up here, on the room with the waterfall. Now here's the hard part. We have to find a way to get past this blue guy. This blue guy does a lot of damage. In fact, I believe if he hits me, we're pretty much dead. So we need to find a way to lure him away from us. Oh, and of course he's blocking the door right now. Come on. I may be able... Come on. Come on, Bluey. Come on, Bluey. Bluey, come on. Okay, he went in the water there. I don't get that. Well, I made it past him. So yeah, if you have 5 heart containers, you can actually get this white sword. This is the second sword upgrade. It does double damage. Double damage compared to the wooden sword, which is what we have been using. And not only that, actually I think that is all it does. But yeah, it's not the strongest sword, but it is definitely better than what we have been using. And it will allow us to defeat some enemies a lot quicker. Namely the Blue Octoroks. Not that the Blue Octoroks are really that annoying, but just to give you an idea, we can now pretty much defeat those in one hit now, which is nice. Since I got that, let me very quickly bring up my notes again. Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and equip the candle just so I have it. Also, come on, controller, don't be weird on me right now. Watch out for the rolling rocks. They actually do, I don't know if they do heavy damage, but they do a decent amount of damage, so you just want to be careful of those. P-hats I don't think we can destroy right now. Maybe we can with other weapons, but not with our sword. Anyway, you can use the blue candle to find secrets in bushes and trees, and that's how we're going to find, first of all, this rupee secret. You'll love a good rupee secret. And we're going to keep going down, and we're going to find a few more other secrets that are like this. Since I'm around here, I may actually go ahead and do the first dungeon, because that is the first dungeon, or the way to the first dungeon that we passed up. So I'm going to see if I can get the next item. Whoa, that guy took a while to spawn in for some reason. I don't know why the game did that. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get these last few items, and then I'll probably take on the first dungeon, just for fun. Since we have quite a few items, and we are right here, so we might as well get it done. First, though, we have another heart container room right here. And if we go one more screen to the left, and we have plenty of rupees to do this with, too, we can actually find the shield again. So we're going to go ahead and grab this shield for only 90 rupees as opposed to 160 where it was earlier. And now we have a better shield, which I think we can use to actually block these Zora attacks. I'll try it really quick. If he appears in the right location. Yeah, we can actually block those now. One other thing I am going to show off before we go to the first dungeon is there is a fairy fountain nearby. It's actually really close to where we are, and it will give us full health going into the first dungeon, and I would definitely like that. All you have to do is go south on this screen, right on this screen, and I think just north twice. And here we go, here's a fairy fountain. Very, very good way to just kind of get things moving here. And give us back our sword beams. And give us some more bombs. Because we were definitely low on bombs. So yeah, let's go to the first dungeon and go ahead and take care of that. Again, the only reason I'm doing this is because, again, we're right here. So we might as well do it since it's, like, right where we are. And of course I immediately lose my sword beams due to a stupid Tektite. Or not Tektite, levers. Was I calling them Tektites earlier? Because I know the jumping spiders are Tektites, but I think I accidentally used Tektite as another name for the levers at one point. But no, the guys that burrow in the ground are levers. Okay, cool. So here we go. This is the first dungeon. Dungeons, I think the dungeon maps are actually better in this game than the overworld maps. Because as we'll see when we get the dungeon map, we'll actually be able to use that to actually see our physical location. But not right now. We have to wait till we actually get the map first. And you can also find the compass too, which will show you where the Triforce piece is, so you can kind of get an idea of where you're going to end up or where you need to go. But we're gonna have some fun here. This dungeon is pretty straightforward. There are some future dungeons where I think it's very easy to get lost. But this is not one of those cases. It's fairly easy to get through this one. And you can also get some nice goodies like rupees and other little drops as well. Fairy taunting me. I don't even need it right now. Let's go over here. Also, I believe this dungeon is called... I'm trying to remember what this dungeon's called. Well, we'll definitely see it when we get the map, because every dungeon is shaped what it's called, like the map layout. Which is kind of a cool aspect of this game. I do like that about it. Also, these little enemies. I don't remember what those enemies are called. I always think they look like shark fins. So I always call them shark fins. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. I don't know what secret that's referencing, but apparently there is something in the Eastmost Peninsula that's worth checking out. So it's giving you a little obscure hint about that area, I guess. Oh, and here's actually the map. Eagle Dungeon, this is what this is called. This is the Eagle Dungeon. Not to be confused with Eagle's Tower in Link's Awakening. This is definitely not as obscure as that dungeon is. These enemies, I believe, are called Gorias. They can be kind of a pain, just in terms of how they move around, and it takes 2 hits to destroy them. That might be because I'm using sword beams, though, because yes, sword beams, even though they do get powerful with your sword upgrades, I still think they do less damage than actual sword strikes, I'm pretty sure. So you don't really want to depend on them to destroy enemies. So here's our first dungeon item, the bow and arrow. We can't actually use the bow and arrow yet until we get arrows, but regardless, we have the bow. And that's all we really need it for. It'll definitely help us in the later parts of the game. I don't think we actually picked up the compass, but I don't think we actually need it. It's kind of obvious where this dungeon's going to end up if you look at the map very carefully. We haven't gone to the right side of the dungeon yet, so that's kind of indication of where we're going to go. Okay, so here we have... I don't know why I did that. Here we have some more Gorias. Now this Goria room's actually good, because this will give us another item that we can use. This will give us the boomerang. The boomerang's a decent item. It will stun enemies whenever you hit enemies with it. And you can kind of hit them a few times before they get free. Also, here are the wall masters, which they actually come from the wall in this game, as opposed to the ones that come from the ceiling in Ocarina of Time. And yeah, with that, I think we're actually ready for the boss, so let's go ahead and fight it. This is the first boss, Aqua Mentis. With sword beams, this guy is really easy, because you don't have to really even move up and close to it, and you can destroy it very, very fast. It's also a lot easier because we have the level 2 sword as well. So yeah, that was a pretty pathetic boss. And we get our first Triforce piece, so we are done with level 1. But where are we going to go next? Well, before we go to Dungeon 2, I am going to get some more pickups, item pickups. So, once again, let me grab my notes.